And it's away we go. Russell goes for Pastry, but he holds on to the lead. Lulu gets past his old car. Wow, I bet that felt fantastic. And we have a safety car on lap 32. Well, already it's 100 times better than last week's race in Japan. And now I don't have to get my adrenaline fix from the latest Paddock 43 video. Mummy, help me. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and yes, it was the Bahrain Grand Prix, and already I'm pretty excited, I'm pretty pumped up because yes, it was 100 times better than Japan. I was getting a little bit worried that Japan was going to be the norm for the rest of the season, but no, it wasn't a spectacular race, but it was a strategical race and there was lots of things going on, so it was exciting. And of course the safety car came out, which is always my favourite bit of any Grand Prix when the safety car comes out. I don't quite know why the safety car came out, but it did, yes. Anyway, so the race started and it was time for us to say go, 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 and away we went. And Russell tried to go for Pastry, but he managed to hold on to it. Lando managed to get up into third position. Anyway, we accelerated forward to lap 7, and Isaac Hajur pitted on lap 7, which put him down to 20th place. Now, this was mentioned later on in the race, that the actual gaps between the cars was so close that you could come in for a pit stop and end up right at the back, which I'll get to a little bit later. Anyway, Lando was given a 5-second penalty on lap 7 for being in the wrong position at the start. When he went into his grid box, he was okay, but then unfortunately he just creeped forward a little bit. Now this has been seen many times in the past. When you used to go back to the 90s, the cars then had very, very heavy clutches. I mean, these days it's quite easy, but back in those days, very, very heavy clutches, so it was very, very easy for them to suddenly just jump forward a couple of inches and get a penalty. But of course the rules weren't as strict back then, they could get away with it. But now of course with the FIA you can't get away with it, so Lando got a 5-second penalty. Then we went to lap 9 and Lulu was battling with Carlos Sainz. I'll tell you what, I bet that felt glorious. Don't forget, of course, Lewis Hamilton replaced Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari, and Carlos Sainz, unfortunately, in my opinion, had to go to Williams because there wasn't really many seats available. He should have gone to that Red Bull, to be honest, but there you go, the second Red Bull. But yeah, so they were having a little battle and Hamilton got it. Hamilton got it in the end, past Carlos Sainz. And while that was all going on, Yuki goes into 9th position, which means he was up there in the points. Yes, in the points for Yuki Tsunoda. So our positions on lap 10 were: in first place it was Piastri, second place was Russell, third place was Norris, fourth was Leclerc, and 5 was Antonelli. Yes, Antonelli was in 5th position. So onwards we go to lap 11, and Lando takes his 5-second penalty, and also Verstappen came into the pits at the same time as well. On lap 13, Antonelli then pits. He drops down to 15th position, and then Yuki pits as well, and he gets held up like Verstappen, because yes, when Verstappen came in for his pit stop, there was a serious problem with the light system in the Red Bull garage. There was this yellow light that was constantly blinking on, which it shouldn't be, and even the mobile light that one of the mechanics holds on to and sort of puts it in front of the car if the driver's sort of gone a bit too far in his pit box and can't see the overhead lights. They've got a mobile one which sort of goes around and sort of, yeah, here we go. I thought that was quite funny, and even that had the little flashing yellow light on it. So yes, not good. And so Verstappen got held up in his pit stop, and so did Yuki when he came in for his stop as well. So yes, serious questions had to be asked there. So after Yuki got held up in that, he ended up in 18th position. Anyway, lap 15, Piastri makes his pit stop. He drops only to 3rd place, and Sainz pits. He goes all the way down to 16th position. This is what I say about the gaps. Very, very close indeed. Lap 17, Albon in. He comes out and he's down to 16th place. And then on lap 18, Charles Leclerc pits from the lead. Yes, from the lead. He did try to sort of say to his team, come on, come on, let's go for the one stop. But his team obviously was saying, nope, you gotta go by the rules, and that's it. That's the rules that we've set out for the race. Personally, I would have gone for the one stop. Only trouble is, of course, a lot of the drivers are having serious trouble with those hard tyres, and of course with one stop, I think you would have had to have gone on to the hards at some point. I don't think you would have got away with it on the soft and then onto the medium tyre. I think you would have had to have gone on to the hards. So yeah, it was a sort of a gamble, and obviously the team weren't happy about playing that gamble, and so no, he had to come in. But that's really galling, especially when you're in the lead as well. Lap 20, the results were Pastry in first position still, Russell in second, Norris was in third, Leclerc was in fourth, Gasly was in fifth, and Esti Besti was in sixth position. Also on lap 20, Antonelli passes Max Verstappen. Yes, that's right, you heard it here first. Antonelli passes Max Verstappen. Oh my goodness. Then on lap 22, Lewis Hamilton passed Doohan. Yes, Lulu passes Doohan in the Alpine. Yes. So it's not that spectacular, but he passed someone. That's good. Well done, Lulu. And on lap 25, he definitely had his Weetabix because he passed Antonelli as well, did Lulu, on lap 25. Anyway, on to lap 27. Max pits for the medium, and we get another pit hold. And when he comes back out onto the track again, he is in plumb last place because, I say, the gap between the cars very, very close, and he was in 20th position when he rejoined. Then, of course, we had the best thing of all, which was the safety car came in on lap 32. This was due to the Yuki Tsunoda and the Carlos Sainz contact. Of course, they had a little altercation, and sort of Yuki drifted straight into Carlos Sainz. We didn't think it was too bad, but when we saw Carlos Sainz's car, there was quite a bit of his side pod that was missing, so the contact was rather heavy. There was lots of debris thrown up. You could see on the cameras, a lot of debris thrown up. Not quite sure that needed a full safety car, to be honest. But of course, I'm not there, so I can't see what's going on. There could have been some very sharp shards of carbon fibre on the track, and so that's why they called it. I think, a virtual probably would have been better, but, when it's safety concerns, you really can't knock the FIA if they're overcautious and being not cautious enough in that regards. We can knock the FIA for a lot of things, and God knows they need knocking, but in regards to safety, we've got to err on the side of caution and say, yeah, okay. So anyway, safety car came out. Lots of cars came into the pits as well. This was on lap 32. The restart was on lap 35, and Lulu got Lando Norris. Yes, Lulu got Lando Norris, but Lando gets it back a little bit later, and unfortunately Lando has to give the place back because he was running wide. You could see it on the onboard cameras. He did go fully over the track limits, so he probably would have ended up with a penalty if he hadn't have done that. He already had a 5 seconds, so yeah, he didn't want to chance it with anything else. So yes, he gave the position back. So on lap 38, Piastri was still in first, Leclerc was in second, Hamilton was up to third ahead of Norris, and fifth was Gasly, and sixth was Maxi Boy Verstappen, having a very meh race, it has to be said. Very, very meh. Not a lot going on with Max at all. That car was not competitive. I mean, the fact that Yuki Tsunoda was a few positions behind him as well just tells you that was definitely not a competitive car. But anyway, he still did what Max does. Norris then got back into third position. Then on to lap 45, Lawson got a 5-second penalty for what I regard as an absolutely stupid decision from the FIA, which was that little love tap that you got from Lawson, a tiny little love tap, and he got a 5-second penalty for that. This is what I say, that the FIA just so inconsistent. I'm sure they all have blindfolds on and they just play pin the tail on the donkey onto what penalties they're going to dish out. I'm sure they do, because none of it makes any sense whatsoever. Oh yeah, there you go, 10 seconds, 3 months in prison, 20 years in jail. It's got to be something like that. £20,000 fine, £20,000 fine, because it's just ridiculous that the decisions they make. And of course, this week we've heard that they're one of their he was sort of the just under the top man, wasn't he? Obviously one of our old touring car drivers He's actually quit because of inconsistencies within the FIA, and you can see why. You can see why. And that situation's only going to get worse, because that's going to filter around the paddock. We're already talking about that, and that's going to filter around everywhere in the future. And there's questions now being asked about the FIA. I mean, the FIA have made some stupid decisions over the past few years. Absolutely stupid. But anyway, that will rumble on, and we will see what happens. And then we accelerate forward to lap 47, and then Sainz unfortunately had to quit because of the damage. It was just too much on that car. I think some more bits of the side pod had started to come away, and the team went, nah, call it a day, Carlos, call it a day. So he was out of the Grand Prix. Then on lap 52, Lando, I'm not mentally strong enough. Yes, Norris. What? Oh, Lando. What a thing to say. Honestly, what a thing to say. Why on earth would he even... I don't get it. Why on earth would you even talk to the Guardian? Well, why would you talk to the Guardian in the first place, to be honest? But if you did talk to the Guardian newspaper, why on earth would you say about, oh, I'm not mentally strong enough? Now, I was watching Alex Jacks was being interviewed by Matt from Matt and Tommy. And he said, if you remember Tim Henman, you should do exactly the same thing. When he was starting out in his younger days, he was always saying, oh, I'm not good enough and what have you. So, yeah, it's a little bit of copycatting, I think, from Lando there. But just, I mean, let's go back to the greats just for a moment. Let's take our time machine now, and let's just go back to the greats. Would you ever, in your imagination, have heard Ayrton Senna say, well, I'm not mentally strong enough, really? I mean, it's the last thing you ever want to say. If you're not mentally strong enough, that's fine. But God's sake, don't ever announce it. Don't ever announce it. I say Max Verstappen must have been chewing on his popcorn when he heard that and gone, what? Did he really just say that? Oh my God. Because you just don't do it, because you're playing to all the other drivers around you. Because now they think you're a pushover. And they will bully you. They will bully you. Anyone who's been bullied back in their school days will know. If you show weakness, they will continue to bully and bully and bully. And that's what's going to happen to Lando now. It's going to happen because please, Lando, grow some kahunas. Grow some kahunas. That's what you need to do. Grow some kahunas. Yes. Because that is just no. Anyway, then on lap 57, the race was over. And congratulations to Oscar's Pastry for winning that race. Yes, he was cooked to perfection. Yes. Gas mark 6, about 22 to 25 minutes, with a lovely little bit of milk glaze on the top of his pie, on the top of his pastry, to make sure that it's superbly cooked. And he certainly was, and he won the race, and he deserved to win that race as well. And there was none of this shenanigans about, oh, can I get past? Can I do my gentleman's excuse me, and can I get past, please? No, I want to get past. None of that bollocks, because Piastri was out in front, and there was nothing Norris could do about it. Especially as the fact that he had George Russell behind him for most of the race. So, yeah, that was it. That was all he could do, and he did it. And congratulations to Oscar's Pastry. And I'm pretty sure now McLaren should be trying to... I mean, I'm not trying to put down Lando, because that's not a thing you should do either. But I just think that it's time that they, transferred some of their sort of... Yeah, it's hard to say really, but transferred some of their output more into Piastri and a little bit less into Lando, because I think Piastri is the stronger driver in that McLaren pairing at the moment. It's unfortunate, but when you say I'm not mentally strong enough, that's what happens. Yes, that's what happens. So yeah, that's what I think. Anyway, so Piastri won the race. Jordan and Russell was in second place. Lando Norris did finish in third place, so he was on the podium. Charles Leclerc finished in fourth position. And in fifth place, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it was Lulu. Lulu finished in 5th. You see, and I said in a Facebook chat Saturday night, Sunday morning, before the race had even started, I was going on about Lulu's 39 years old and he's washed up and he's finished. Every time I say that, he does quite well. It's just to spite me. That's all it is. It's just to spite me. But yeah, he does quite well, and he did do quite well. He got 5th place. And in 6th position, it was, you've got to say, very disappointing for Max Verstappen. But anyway, he got some points. That's all that matters. And in 7th place, it was Pierre Gasly. Yes, Pierre Gasly. So well done to all the runners and riders. Okay, just before I go, I'd like to do this little segment as late as possible so I can include anything that's happened later on. I did forget to mention, of course, that George Russell had serious electrical problems with his car and was basically driving in the dark for most of the race. That was one thing I just forgot to take on. But also, this happened later on after the race had finished, and that was Nico Hülkenberg was actually disqualified from the race for a plank infringement, very much the same as what the 2 Ferraris were a couple of weeks ago. So yes, Nico Hülkenberg was disqualified from the Bahrain Grand Prix. So there you go, little updates for you there. And now, before I go, favourite part of the show, of course, for some, it's the points situation. So still in 1st place at the moment, it's Lando Norris with 77 points. In 2nd place, it's Oscar's Pastry with 74. In 3rd position, it's Maxi Boy Verstappen with 69. 4th for George Russell with 63. 5th for Charles Leclerc with 32. And in 6th position, it's Kimi. And look at that gap between 4th and 5th. 63 to 32, almost double the points there. Anyway, Kimi Antonelli's got 30 points in 6th place. 7th for Lulu with 25. 8th for Alexander Albon with 18. Esti Besti in 9th with 14 points at the moment. And Lance Stroll is in, I still can't believe it, he's in 10th place with 10 points. Pierre Gasly is in 11th with 6 points. Nico Hülkenberg has got 6 points. 13th for Oliver Bearman, he's got 6 points as well. And Yuki Tsunoda has got 5 points and is in 14th place in the championship at the moment. Isaac Hajar has 4 points in 15th place. 16th for Carlos Sainz with just a single solitary World Championship points. And the rest of the losers so far in the 2025 season are Fernando Alonso with 0 points, Leanne Lawson 0 points, Jack Doohan with 0, and Gabriel Bortoleto also with 0 points in the championship. So that is the end of the Bahrain Grand Prix. I'm sure everyone will agree it was 100 times better than Japan. Yes, it was quite enjoyable. It wasn't brilliant by any stretch of the imagination. I suppose we'd have to give it a 6.5, 7 out of 10, something like that. But I say it was so much better than Japan. It was unbelievable. It really was. But yeah, so not bad. There's room for improvement. We need to see some more battles, and this car placing seems to be a little bit of a problem, to be honest. The fact that they are so close together, it's starting to remind me of F1 24 the game, if anyone's played that, because all those cars just stay behind each other. But that's because the game sucks, not because it's anything to do with real life, but it's just starting to remind me of that. Yes, so could be a problem as the season progresses. If that continues, I'm hoping that as developments come on, there's going to be more space in between these cars. Obviously, we're still very early into the season. They're still on, I'm pretty sure, their original developments they started the season on. So in a few weeks' time, and once the European races start, then further developments will start to get bolted onto those cars. And hopefully one of those cars that needs some development is obviously the Red Bull, because it's definitely under par at the moment. But anyway, we will see. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's definitely better than Japan. That's all I'm going to say. Definitely better than Japan. Tell me what you thought about it. And so anyway, that's about it, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. You have been awesome as always. And I will catch you in the next video.